We are live. Announcements are going out.
There you go. That's my thread sale on the weight.
What's that?
None. I just put a thread in the threadcast in regards to our late start per the usual. If it wants to show up.
Everyone wonders why we're always late. Because we have a lot of things to talk about pre-show that are private.
This is
That's why we're always late.
Ironically, it's usually all non-crypto.
Yeah.
So if it was crypto, then it would be good content. But it is non-crypto investments. Diversification, baby. Although every time I look back at things, I'm like, yep, the move is just should have just went all in on Bitcoin in 2017 and just close my eyes. Which, speaking of Bitcoin, it's up 2,000 points today, which is nice. It's a little greeny after a lot of red. I can't tell what this thing wants to do. It really looks like it wants to go up and make a run back at 100K, but every time it's getting ready to do it, then the sellers come back in. It's been very low volatility. I mean, we're stuck in this little, at least it's like ascending though, like this range it's been stuck in since it bottomed out November 21st. There was that swing low. And then since then, it's like the price action is getting tighter and tighter. But it's like slanted slightly higher as it's getting tighter and tighter. So hopefully, we're looking at some kind of like ascending wedge or channel or something that it either A, will slowly keep just grinding higher, or B, it'll break out. So then if it does, then, we'll basically touch 100 again in no time. And then it'll basically fight with that again, which I feel like that number has become less of a thing since it's crossed it so many times now. I don't think it's like a big psychological number anymore.
Yeah, I don't think 100K means what it used to.
My manga, 2014 would have been even more epic, but 2017 was still more than fine. I mean, I got in Bitcoin before 2017, but still. 2014, I couldn't even buy it. I think I remember in 2014, I was looking at it, and I think maybe Coinbase had just launched or whatever, and everything I saw about buying Bitcoin was literally like, you like go on like some peer-to-peer site and then like literally like meet someone at a coffee shop, with like cash in hand, and then like they send crypto to your wallet. I'm like, this is shady as F. It's amazing how different things are just, a little over 10 years later.
Yeah.
I guess if I wasn't a scaredy cat and pulled the trigger in 2014 when Bitcoin was like sub $100 instead of when I finally bought when it was at like $600.
I remember buying Bitcoin back in the day at $300.
I don't know if Casper's talking about my or your, probably yours is the metal cutout. So
Yeah.
maybe he's talking about my posters. I actually have no idea. I bought that. Is it actually a painting? It's technically like an acrylic painting. I got that at some like home type store or whatever. So, and then the other smaller picture is actually a printout of a famous painting from Thomas Kincaid of the old New York Yankees stadium. So it's like a printout of a painting that my uncle had given me years ago. Good old Yankee Stadium, the original. It was never the same after they built the new one. But yeah, nope, nothing crazy. And knowing me, I probably paid like $20 for that quote unquote photo / painting because I don't spend big money on stuff like that. Because I didn't go all in on Bitcoin in 2017. Ain't got that kind of money. I don't know, but Task must not be here because I haven't gotten yelled at yet in the comments.
Yeah, right.
Anywho, are there Leo updates or?
There is nothing. Just kidding.
I mean, hey, it could be okay if there's a week where there's like really not anything brand new. It's pretty crazy to be launching big news every week. That's it's no joke.
Well, that is the Leo way, isn't it? So just continuously be doing stuff.
Facts.
Sorry, I had this thing that I have to do. Kind of.
I mean, I'm just a simple investor. I just sit around and wait for a number go up.
Numbers do go up eventually.
Yes, and then unfortunately sometimes they go back down. I keep riding that. I got to learn how to like take some on pumps and then repurchase on pullbacks because then I'd have that much more. Like I should have like 2 times the Leo I have.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the hard thing is it's hard to do. It's hard to do, contrary to what things are happening. You know what I mean? So like when price is going up, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't take profits. Maybe I should wait for the price to go higher. And then when the price is down, you're like, I might go down lower, so maybe I won't buy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's tough to ignore your instincts, which I think is why it's good to have a like a realistic plan that you just kind of follow that plan regardless of.
Yes. My plan is I don't have enough Leo because when we do pump, I'm like, all right, I like that number I have, but I want to get to a certain number. So it's like, well, now I don't have any of that I actually want to sell because, you never know if it's going to keep going.
True.
So what's new in the Leoverse that the people need to know?
I'm like, sorry.
What's going to get the people going, gorillas? What's that mean? Nobody knows what it means, but it gets the people going. It's provocative.
Yeah. So sorry, I had something come up that I had to do. So we actually have a lot. I know it's funny you said can't possibly have all this stuff going on every week, but we actually have a lot going on. And a lot of that is because, for a lot of reasons, but in terms of team and what we're all working on, like we're working on so many things. And we've got different people working on different things. And then we've also got, obviously the help of AI now, which has really supercharged. Like I think a lot of people talk about AI and like people losing jobs, but for us, AI has just meant that everybody on the team is like 10x better at doing what they do. So whether you're, developer or otherwise, like whatever you're doing on the team, like we're expecting a lot more from you. So, my expectations of people, on the Leo team have really dramatically increased because I know, because I'm obviously using a lot of the AI tooling too, that the ability to build stuff, it has never been higher. Like your ability to build things and roll them out has never been better. And a lot of what AI has enabled is being able to do things at a fast pace, and then having AI kind of do the grunt work of whatever you're working on, so that you don't have to spend your time doing it. So your output, if your output hasn't 10x with AI, then you're not doing things right, in my opinion. And that is regardless of what your craft is. I think whatever you do, if you're some type of white collar job, which a lot of this stuff is considered like coding and data entry and things like that. I mean, your capacity to build things has never been higher. So we are working on so many different fronts, and we're able to push things faster than ever before. And I think people usually associated us with building very quickly, and now it's just even faster, better, and more widespread. I don't know if I crashed, but my video has frozen. Can you still hear me?
I hear you, but you're up. Now you were frozen for a moment, but I don't know if that might have been on my end because I got 8,000 things open on my computer.
I think it might be me. I just saw the camera froze. I think it's good now.
Yeah. All right. So it did freeze on both sides. Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah. So we've been building a lot, and now we have something interesting in terms of the Leo economy, which is we've never had B2B before. So everything's always been B2C, which means business to customer, which effectively just means like everything, every product, every service, every software development that we've done has been customer facing. So like you guys and just like the average user has been the person that we are targeting with the products and services that we build. LeoKit changes that completely because now it's a B2B product. So we're looking at other businesses, we're looking at wallets, apps, interfaces that want to have cross-chain swaps. And that is, kind of a completely new market for us to tap into. And, I think it's pretty amazing in terms of what we can achieve, by expanding this market. And right now there's really only one other good solution out there for this. And that is the only competitor that we have. There's a few other solutions out there that are really expensive and don't have the same offerings that we do. So in terms of similar offerings, there's only one other one out there, and we are significantly cheaper, like almost half the price, in terms of integrating. So LeoKit costs nothing to integrate. It's free to integrate. And then on every swap, LeoKit earns 10 basis points. So that's about half as much as the competitors or main competitor. And then, some of the other, APIs that are out there are charging anything, around like 25 basis points. So we're almost a third cheaper than a lot of those. And meanwhile, we have broader coverage. So we have more DEXs integrated, and our API is a lot easier to use. So it's also more modular. So that's another big feature is, the fact that it's more modular means that a integrator can go to the dashboard on LeoKit and literally change anything they want. So they can support one asset, they can support 100 assets, they can support 1,000 assets, they can not support certain assets that they don't like, they can support or not support certain blockchains, and they can do the same with protocols. So let's just say you want to add Thorchain swaps to your website and you don't want anything else but Thorchain. You don't want Near Intense, you don't want Maya Protocol, you don't want Rango, you don't want Relay. You can literally go to LeoKit, get the API key, and then you can turn off every protocol except for Thorchain. And then now when you add the API to your website, you only have Thorchain swaps. So it's pretty amazing, that we've built something that, in my opinion, has broader coverage, lower fees, and more modularity than anything in the market. And by the way, it's easier to integrate. So, LeoKit is amazing. And I think, that's going to become more and more apparent as we get these integrators on. There's some integrators that are coming out, kind of day by day. I see Task just posted that Scott Adams died, which is crazy. I'm a big follower of Scott Adams.
Call me ignorant. I don't even know who that is. So I'm blanking.
He's the guy that created Dilbert, and he's kind of known for marketing.
Oh, wow.
On the internet. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And I remember Dilbert from when I was young.
Yeah, wow. Rest in peace. I'm a big follower. I watch Scott Adams videos like pretty regularly. That's crazy. He does like a daily coffee with Scott Adams podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't even know that he had cancer. Well, rest in peace. He's a legend, especially in the kind of like marketing and influencing space. Um, so I saw some questions while I was talking about LeoKit. Cass from Weller said, "Can we test LeoKit?" Yeah, you can go to leokit.dev, which I'll show you in a second, and then you can go to the contact form and you can fill it out, and then you can get an API key. So anybody can use LeoKit. We've already had a lot of people testing it, so now it's already in production. It's ready to go. We already have integrators that are working on it. So if you want to vibe code an app, like if you're watching this and you don't have an app already, you're welcome to vibe code an app and request an API key, and off to the races. It's super easy to do, and I'll get into that in a second. So if you want to, and then his follow-up question was, is it possible to change the layout in LeoKit? Well, LeoKit is an API that runs in the back end. So the front end is completely up to you. There is no layout for LeoKit. So LeoKit is an API that you request, kind of like, you can look at it as like an AWS or Stripe, for example, where you request the API key, you integrate that API key, and then it gives your app the ability to do cross-chain swaps. So it quotes swaps and gives you those quotes. And then when a user clicks swap, they actually performs the swap. And then there's a tracker to track the success of the swap. So that is all API keys. So if you know anything about development, you integrate an API key and then it runs in the back end. But then you have to build the front end around it. So, but with, like I was saying, a lot of these AI tools that are out there, you can now vibe code things that are like, you could literally build a DEX today if you wanted to, then just get an API key from LeoKit, and then you literally can have your own kind of like LeoDex in a day, right? So things are pretty amazing. The hard part are like when you start adding features and wallet support and things like that. So if you want to get access, I don't know if this actually will change. Well, I guess it doesn't change. Let's see if I have to stop sharing my screen, or can I just change it? Oh, there we go. I can just change it. All right. So I changed it for a second from the Threadcast. So if you want to integrate LeoKit, just go to leokit.dev, and then you'll see this page. This is the landing page for LeoKit. It explains to you how everything works. It shows you what protocols are integrated. This module here is actually integrated with LeoKit. So like if you go to LeoDex and you do a 0.1 Bitcoin swap to ZEC, you'll see that it's this exact quote. Same thing for Bitcoin here and things like that. So these are live quotes from LeoKit directly, because the landing page actually already has LeoKit integrated. And you can see it's like via Thorchain or Near Intense or whatever. You can also click try live swaps on LeoDex. Obviously, LeoDex runs on LeoKit, so it's a good example of it. This again explains a little bit about how LeoKit works. You can see all the different information here. LeoKit's like a very simple API that you just integrate into your backend, and then it powers your website to do swaps. This shows the dashboard. So with LeoKit, we've built a dashboard app, which I'll also show you guys in a second. And this dashboard allows you to do literally pretty much anything you want. So you can completely manage the LeoKit integration. And like I said, you have full modularity, so you can like tick on and off different blockchains or assets or protocols, and you can change everything however you want. You also set your own fees. So this is kind of obviously a very important part. When you integrate LeoKit, you set your own fee. LeoKit charges 10 basis points, and then whatever fee you set is on top of the 10 basis points. If LeoKit's, obviously LeoKit's charging 10 basis points. If you set 40 basis points, then the total fee for your users will be 50 basis points. 10 will go to us, and then 40 goes to you, whatever you set in the dashboard. So LeoKit enables any application, wallet, or interface to immediately start earning crypto on cross-chain swaps. So it is a really powerful integration that like you just generate an API key, integrate the API key. The second someone does a swap, you earn whatever fee you set in your dashboard. And then we've also built an analytics section of the dashboard where you can see like what people are quoting, what people are swapping, how much you're earning, things like that. And the dashboard's very, very powerful, and I'll go into that in a second. This just shows, LeoKit essentially versus other API providers. So LeoKit charges 10 basis points. It's a really simple REST API. It has 107 DEXs already integrated, and we continue to add to this. There's 24/7 dedicated support, so you get like a direct support line to the Leo team, and we're always available to help either with the integration or ongoing maintenance or questions or whatever you have. And then modularity, like I mentioned, you can really change anything you want. This again just hammers home the point that things are very modular. When I was talking to people about what they didn't like about existing solutions, one of them was a lack of customizability. So with LeoKit, I wanted to make something that is customizable, so that any integrator who wants to do literally whatever they want, they can just go into the dashboard and tick things on and off super easily in real time. So the dashboard allows you to do all of that. And then at the end of the page here, you've got the get started. So this is the contact form. You just fill it out if you want an API key, and then it sends us an email, and then we get back to you. So make sure you fill out the contact methods and whatnot, and then we'll get right back to you with an API. Actually we'll get back to you with a login, so an admin login to the LeoKit dashboard, where you can then generate as many API keys as you want. So you can have, like, say you have like a mobile wallet and you have a desktop wallet, and you have a Chrome extension, right? You've got 3 different apps and you want to use a different API key for each app. You can just go, once we give you the admin login, you can just go in and generate 3 API keys, 1 for each app, and then you can have custom settings on each app that you operate. So there's a lot of really cool modularity here. And like I said, I mean, I know there's a few of you like Ahmad Manga and others in the audience that have experimented with vibe coding and just coding in general. You're welcome to request an API key and try to build your own decks. I mean, this is like, I'm really surprised there's more of the Leo community hasn't tried to do this, where you literally can just grab an API key and go to whatever V0 or whatever vibe coding app or Claude you use, and you can use that API key and build your own decks and try to monetize it and grow your audience. And while you do all that, it benefits Leo, because Leo earns the 10 basis points on every swap. So there's a few integrators that are going live, and until they roll it out publicly, we're not going to say anything, because that's up to them to do the have their own marketing launch, and we don't want to front run it. So there's some integrators that are really exciting, like really big names in the space that are going live as we speak. So going to be awesome to see them kind of one by one get things integrated. And then I will switch over to the dashboard here. So this is the LeoKit dashboard. I see it's a little bit cut off. Let's see if I can. It doesn't really help. It's a little bit cut off on the screen, but you get the point. So this is the analytics section I was telling you about. So you can see some like kind of key analytics about it, about your integration. Like I said, you can set your own API key and set the fees that you want to charge. So you can charge 10 basis points, you can charge 40 basis points, you can charge 1,000 if you want, and that obviously will show you the percentage that it's charging. Then you set your fee addresses here. So switch that back to 10. So then you can set your fee addresses. So this is where you'll actually get the fees paid to you. If you set these, you will get, obviously all the fees sent to you to those addresses. And then you can select here, if you want to add tokens, you can manually add tokens. Like I said, we created this section because, it allows people to basically add any, like literally any token by contract address. If you've ever used like MetaMask, you can add like custom tokens with that. And LeoKit actually lets integrators do the same thing. The reason we added this was because of Leo strategy. So when a new Leo strategy asset comes out, we used to have to manually go in and add each token to the back end. Now, one person from our team can just go to the dashboard for LeoKit, because LeoDex is running on it, and we can literally just paste in the new contract address for whatever Leo strategy token came out, and it automatically adds it to LeoDex. So it's pretty amazing, really fun to use. You can search all the different assets that are supported by LeoKit. So you can search like Zcash, for example, and you can see all the different versions of Zcash and all the ones that we support. You can sort by the blockchains that we support, things like that. So you can also see error logs. So if there's any errors that are being seen by your users, you can see the specific errors and details about them, and then you can kind of report them to us if we need to fix anything for you. These are all the gas prices for the different chains that are supported. And then here you can actually see quotes. So if you want to see like manually what's happening on the back end in terms of quotes, like here, for example, a user looking at an ETH swap to Avalanche, and it shows you, how long it takes for that quote to get served. It shows you the amount, shows you the addresses, the best route that's being shown, and then it also can show you the available quotes. So for this specific route, Ethereum to Avalanche, there's 4 protocols where you can quote it on: Maya, Thorchain, Near, and Relay. So it shows you all this information. So long story short, the dashboard is extremely modular. You can literally do anything and see anything from it, and we're also improving it. So I mean, there's plenty of improvements to be made to the dashboard, and it's pretty easy for us to continue to add stuff as integrators ask us for various things. Next thing I wanted to show you was the docs. So these are the LeoKit docs. You can docs.leokit.dev, and it shows you literally how everything works. And again, you could just feed this through AI if you want, and it'll help you with the integration and show you how everything works. But super easy, and you can test stuff directly in the docs. So you can play around with all these different settings. So these docs are for all the integrators who want to effectively have a playground to test all these things before they do the actual integration. So super easy. Again, like we've made this as easy as possible. And I wanted to showcase, and I talked about this a little bit on the last AMA, how easy it is to build. Really anything you want with LeoKit. It doesn't even mean building a DEX necessarily. Like you can build, for example, something like this, which I built over the weekend using a vibe coding app. And literally what I did was I just described what I wanted to build to the vibe coding app, and then I gave it a link to LeoKit. I gave it a link to the LeoKit docs, and then I gave it an API key for LeoKit that I generated. And then it built this entire website. And this is live now, and it's actually starting to get kind of a lot of usage. So this is called thorvolume.com. It's just a little app I vibe coded over the weekend, and it actually uses LeoKit. So all of this data is powered by LeoKit. So you can see the real-time Thorchain volume and the 30-day history. It shows you, the rolling total of volume that's been traded. And then you can also switch it over to Maya. So it also shows you Maya protocol and the volume there. And then there's another feature that I worked on, which actually allows you to see arbitrage opportunities. Let's see if this updates you. So this isn't live yet, but I've been working on it. This is plugged into LeoKit. So it shows you real-time arbitrage opportunities between Thorchain and Maya. So you can literally see the delta of different assets. So this is USDT, you got ETH, Bitcoin. Like I said, this is kind of work in progress, but you can see simulations by leokit.dev. Again, this is all vibe coded over the weekend, and all I did was feed the docs into into LeoKit, or into the vibe coding app, and then it understood how LeoKit works, and it took all the information it needed, and then literally just built this. So we're in a very interesting era when it comes to development in general. And if I take a step back, the way I think that development is going to progress going forward is that teams like Leo, we build really great APIs, and then we use those APIs to then build interfaces around them, and other people can build interfaces around them. I think what AI has done is make interfaces, user-facing interfaces, ubiquitous. It's made them easy to build, completely customizable. You can launch very quickly, and the real, kind of secret sauce is now building great APIs that just operate in the back end. So we're now focused on just making really great APIs like LeoKit, and then when people want to build things like Thor Volume, for example, where you can build a website in a day that gives you deep analytics on something like Thorchain, that in the past may have taken you weeks or months to build because you needed to build a back end and then a front end. Now LeoKit is a great API that can handle the entire back end, and then AI can just make whatever front end you can imagine that taps into that API. So this is where I think software development is headed in the future. Whatever ideas you have, and I built Thor Volume and this is thorvolume.com. You're welcome to go use it. It's in production. It's completely functional, and again, runs on LeoKit. I built it, to showcase, partly because honestly, I wanted a good website to track ThorChain volume, and I didn't really have a great one. I always went to the Block Explorer. And second, because I wanted to showcase that LeoKit is not just for DEX interfaces or wallets or just apps in general. You can really build whatever you want. I mean, it is a cross-chain API that connects you directly to all these different protocols, and any idea you have is possible. So get creative with it, and don't think that it's like pigeonholing into one thing or another, or that an existing wallet needs to integrate it. It's obviously we're going after existing wallets, we're going after apps and interfaces, but you can build any idea you have and use LeoKit's APIs to do it. So it's a fascinating time to really be building anything. And I see Ahmad Manga's question. This gives you an idea for a coin tracker, a volume tracker, or can it be used for a block explorer too? Yeah, it can be. So I also have some ideas about a block explorer, but you're welcome to explore your own ideas. I mean, it's pretty amazing to see that like you can just take the API and turn it into whatever you want. So yeah, explore your ideas. I mean, like I said, go to leokit.dev, request admin access, and then we'll send you a login for yourself, and then you can just start playing around with it and vibe code and test out your ideas. Casper said, speaking of Near, is there a reason Near is not available on LeoDex and LeoKit? It has always been available, so maybe you just haven't seen it. I mean, it's literally on that. It's everywhere. So yeah, Near is and has been available on LeoKit and LeoDex for a very long time. Any other questions here? I know we're kind of running late, but Modmanga said, I don't see a point in using LeoDex tools to create a LeoDex competitor. I can only see this working for influencers. That's not true. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like if you think you can market your own, DEX interface, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's not necessarily a competitor to LeoDex. It's people have a lot of different ideas. People also have a lot of different use cases. I think this gets you to a broader discussion about where content consumption and interfaces and apps are headed in general. A lot of people, including Elon Musk, have said that they believe the future is going to be, every individual, they want a personalized experience. They can just go to AI and tell it to make them a personalized experience of something, and then use backends to plug into that. So, maybe you have an idea for, maybe someone has an idea for a completely Thor branded DEX interface. Like, I don't think that exists right now, where you use like Chris Hemsworth to create like a completely branded Thor interface. I mean, like you can make a comic book looking interface for cross chain swaps. I mean, that doesn't exist.
Dude, that's wild too, because talk about low hanging fruit. Like, not that dude needs the money, but Chris Hemsworth literally could create like his own like white label, like Thor themed, and just crush it. Like literally crush it. Just print money, knowing nothing about crypto. Just literally print money with a white label DEX, with just that theme and him just, whatever, doing some kind of, social media ad or just even commercial, with that theme. That's so wild, man. Someone's got to figure out a way to get in touch with him.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, or just launch it yourself.
Someone can do a spoof, dress up as Chris Hemsworth's Thor, and do a fake accent. Make it a spoof, and then you'll know that you're making money, and it went viral when you get the cease and desist order. So that's when you know you've actually successfully had a good quality spoof that's making money.
100%.
What is that? Don't ask for forgiveness. Don't ask for permission, beg for forgiveness.
Yeah, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That's hilarious.
Mod Manga liked the showcasing, screen shared. Yeah, I actually started playing around with this the last two AMAs. Instead of, I was using OBS before to record the threadcast, but now I'm actually recording the threadcast while we're live. So a little bit different, but it makes it a lot easier. And then I also can do stuff like what I just did. Yeah, another good example is like someone's building, and I won't reveal it yet, but they've been building a Ledger-only cross-chain DEX interface. So, for Ledger hardware wallets, that is literally just only for Ledger hardware wallets. And they're using LeoKit for it. So that is going to be probably one of the first integrators to go live. And I've obviously had a front row seat to see how their progress is. But yeah, that should be live soon, and it's literally like a Ledger focused cross chain DEX interface where you just connect any Ledger device and then you can swap. And it's entirely powered by LeoKit. So all the cross chain swaps are LeoKit powered, which is pretty amazing. So there's like infinite ideas out there. I mean, it's really just about what you can think up in terms of creativity and then roll out. And by the way, LeoKit, and I've mentioned this a few times, it was kind of like the lead domino for us to roll out the LeoDex mobile wallet. So we've been working on a mobile wallet app for LeoDex, and I'm extremely excited to get it out there. And it runs on LeoKit. So we wanted to get LeoKit completely done and live before we rolled out the mobile wallet, but this will go live soon, and it's it's taken a lot of inspiration from Robinhood. So what I wanted to build is, because Robinhood has really, completely changed the game when it comes to like retail trading. So what we've built with the LeoDex mobile wallet is effectively a mobile wallet that works like Robinhood and is like kind of trader focused. But then it also has like wallet features built into it. So you can actually use it as just like a crypto wallet, and then you can seamlessly trade between cryptos. And then combine that with Leo merchants. So Leo merchants, later down the road, let's say you go into a restaurant or something and you want to pay with crypto, you'll be able to use the LeoDex mobile wallet to pay with any crypto, and then the merchant can receive any other crypto. So a lot of this stuff, and I keep talking about this convergence that's happening, where a lot of the things that we're building are all converging together and can be used in a vertical stack. So LeoKit is going to operate all of these things, and it's just going to operate seamlessly in the background, and it's already doing it on LeoDex. So it's already doing it on LeoDex.io. Now I showed you guys how it works on thorvolume.com, which is just a little side project I wanted to build. I've got a lot of other little ideas like that I can just, over the weekend, I kind of just like play around with different ideas and roll them out. So you'll start to see more ideas like that from me. And then the LeoDex mobile wallet's obviously going to be a big one. And kind of along similar lines, I was teasing a little bit yesterday that the Rafiki mobile and web app are going to come out soon. I'm thinking Q1 of this year, so probably in the next month or two, we'll see the Rafiki standalone apps come out. So you're going to get the Rafiki desktop interface that looks like ChatGPT, but then you're also going to get a Rafiki mobile app. So if you want to use Rafiki, as a mobile app, you'll be able to do that. And I think we have a real shot here of really increasing the number of premium subscribers on, and right now we call them in Leo premium subscribers, but I think in the near future, we're just going to call them Leo premium subscribers. And it's because, obviously you get a lot of premium features on InLeo, but with the, Rafiki app on the way, a lot of the reason and benefit of going premium is going to be for Rafiki access specifically. And I think we can replace a lot of what people are using other AI tools for. I think Rafiki can replace a lot of those and then lead to a lot of users of premium. So, the Rafiki standalone app will have a premium subscription, kind of module, and that subscription is the same as the InLeo one. So if you're InLeo Premium, it obviously crosses over, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Can we start to get a lot of people that go premium solely for Rafiki access, or primarily for it at least. And I think that's probably going to happen. We're probably going to start to see a lot of subscribers that just come in for Rafiki, and then obviously we'll obviously get all the InLeo premium stuff if they choose to even use InLeo. I mean, I think there's going to be plenty of people that start using Rafiki just for the AI. Like they don't even know what InLeo is and they don't care. They're just using Rafiki because it's a great AI model. And I think that's going to happen. So a good example, ThorVolume.com, when I built it, I used Rafiki to help me build it. So Rafiki plus a vibe coding tool is how I built ThorVolume. So it's pretty... It's I just keep saying, like, this is the best time to build anything. If you have any idea and you're just, even if you don't know how to code, like, you can build anything now. And a lot of these tools are out there and making it very easy.
Leverage the tech.
Yeah, Dagger212 said, will there be a way to use Rafiki without doing it in a thread? Yep, that's exactly what the apps will do. So when you use the mobile app or the desktop app for Rafiki, you'll be able to talk to him without putting it on threads. So you can choose to put it on threads, but it'll be like a choice. So if you don't want it on threads, you want to just have like a chat, like a normal chat, you can do that. And then later down the road, there's going to be like a full privacy mode. So... yeah, Mod Manga, Rafiki can code. And we'll probably come out with like a Rafiki Copilot. I mean, I've already talked about Rafiki Copilot in general. Like there's going to be a Rafiki Copilot when you're writing blog posts or threads. But we're also probably going to come out with a Rafiki coding Copilot. So you'll be able to just, use Rafiki in that way. But right now, yeah, he can code. You can just ask him various coding questions and he can spit out code. I know that you guys kind of have limited access because it's all on threads, but you still have pretty good access. I mean, you can ask them to modify code and things like that. With a lot of these vibe coding tools, you can use Rafiki to do the ideation of things. So you can say, I have this idea. Can you help me refine this idea? For example, let's say you're using V0 to code, to vibe code an interface. You could ask Rafiki to give you a prompt for V0 to vibe code an interface. And then Rafiki can give you the initial prompt. Then you can give Rafiki the link to the website. You can say, okay, check what like the preview link, check what was being done. And then Rafiki can give you more feedback to then give another prompt to V0. And then you just keep recycling that process until you end up with an app. And that's exactly how ThorVolume got built. Is Rafiki was co-piloting with a vibe coding tool in order to build the entire application.
Somehow I refreshed my way out of the threadcast. Let's see if I can relocate. There we go.
Any questions, Mitch? We should probably cut this thing soon.
Did you see these last couple questions already?
If it can vibe code from scratch, yeah, it can. Private chats with Rafiki, yes, you'll be able to soon. When Rafiki API access, that's a good question. I do think it'll be very similar to LeoKit. So when the Rafiki, I'll look at the roadmap of Rafiki is like we've got Rafiki 2.0 on the way. Then you'll have the Rafiki standalone desktop app, and then you'll have the Rafiki mobile app. Shortly after that, we'll have a Rafiki API section of the desktop app, which will let you request API access, and then you'll have to pay per credit. So very similar, model to other AIs is that basically you'll just pay for usage, and you'll be able to pay. You'll probably get some rechargeable credits from being premium, and then anything above and beyond that, you'll have to pay for per credit. So you'll just basically reload credits, and you'll be able to use Leo or HBD or another stablecoin in order to do that. Which, without giving things away, I know LeoStrategy is working on their next launch that's going to be very massive, and that will tie into that. So it will be it'll be pretty amazing. It'll be pretty amazing. That's all I want to say. But it'll tie into some of this stuff very closely. And Leo Strategy's next launch will also be the necessary next step for Leo Lending. So I've talked to them a little bit, and it looks like Leo Lending will be live as soon as the next launch is done. So the day that launch ends, in terms of a pre-sale, Leo Lending will go live. So you'll be able to deposit your Leo and take out stablecoin loans against it. So collateralized lending on Leo is on the way. I think it's going to be a massive change for a lot of us, because a lot of us have a lot of Leo staked or utilized in one form or another, but we have a lack of access to liquidity, right? So imagine if you could deposit, 10,000 Leo and take out, $500 as a stablecoin loan. That is coming and could be live as soon as the end of the month. I think it kind of depends on how the next Leo strategy launch does. Because that is kind of a net, like I said, when you see the doc that they have, which I obviously already read, you'll understand why it's kind of a necessary next step. But once that pre-sale ends, we will have Leo Lending that same day, and that is really exciting to me. I've been using Bitcoin loans for forever, so it's going to be very cool to see to finally have that for Leo. Went on and said, so Leo Premium subscribers will still be able to buy extra credits. Yeah, I mean, you'll have a rechargeable amount of credits every month from your premium subscription, and then if you use the AI, heavily, you may need to buy additional credits, or just wait for them to recharge. Any final questions out there, Mitch?
I think you covered all, if not most of them. Yeah, I think you got all of them.
Sweet.
Cool deal.
Any questions from you, or should we call this a day until next week?
Nah, I'm good to go.
I rambled a lot, but had a lot of updates.
Yeah, basically, more tools, options, and information, which is the running theme and is a good theme. Continue the growth.
Yep.
All right, you got a couple of last second questions about the credit recharge from Dagger and Wananda.
How will the credit recharging work, basically daily or monthly? So you'll have a certain amount of credits every month, and each month they'll recharge. So you'll basically, obviously not this exactly, but I'll just use it as a broad example. Let's just say that $10 a month is your premium subscription cost, which will give you, let's say we make every credit 10 cents, right? So that'll make it 1,000 credits a month is what you have. It's basically like you get those credits for free in addition to your premium subscription. So you just get 1,000 credits added to your wallet every month. You use up the 1,000 credits, and then if it will basically say if you want to keep using, the APIs or whatever you're doing on Rafiki, you'll have to add more credits. So then you'll have a way to top up and like buy 1,000 credits. So then you would send another $10, and then you'd buy an extra 1,000 credits. And then let's say you use 500 of those new 1,000. Then when the next month rolls around, you'll then have 1,500 total credits because you'll get the 1,000 recharged back. So yeah, it's mainly going to be relevant for people that are like super heavy users. I think the majority of people will probably use about the amount of credits that their monthly premium subscription comes with, which is about 1,000, like under my example. Just think of it that way. It's like your premium subscription will cover most usage, like even daily usage. But if you're like a very heavy user of AI, of Rafiki, then you will you may need to buy more credits, or you'll be able to heavily use Rafiki for a few days, and then it's like you ran out of credits, and I have to wait for them to recharge or buy more. So that's kind of how that will work. Again, this is for, and no, they can't be gifted. Wananda. This is for like very heavy users. I think it'll be relevant, for them. So
Cool deal.
Sweet.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week when Bitcoin is
Hopefully
above
100K. Yeah. I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. I hope so. All right. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Thanks for coming to my rambling show. Hopefully, you got all the updates you desired. LeoDex mobile wallet could be live very, very soon. We will see. As far as integrators, you'll start to see them come online. I think this Ledger app is going to be the first one, and then you'll probably start to see some others. Some of them are huge names in the crypto space, so going to be a game changer in terms of inflows, and I'm very excited. So
Nice.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next